Hello, your computer has virus.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello there. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello there.
All week long. Oh, I did it again. It's like 9 million times. I keep forgetting to take that thing out. Oh my God. Hi. Good afternoon. Christy, you're first. Grats. Nathan's here. Video stuff. Hello. Told you guys we're going to do some court. We're going to do some court. We're starting off in 3B. I've also got this pulled up and some stuff going on over there. Let's start with we haven't seen the ponytail in a while. You know? Is it pretty good, though? Have you been watching? I watched it a little bit. I was also watching a trial earlier until the guy started talking about this woman that potentially murdered baby. So I was like, we'll move on to something else. Anyways, what is this? We got a case. We do it Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock East. Not this week, though. Mikey's on vacation and, some abbreviated schedule and all that. It's just starting. Well, I guess we're right on time then. We'll jump around a little bit. Unless this is really, really good, then obviously we'll hang out here and see what up. But Flusha getting the day going with $2. Postage for Melanin Hit. All right, let's see what's up with Judge Middleton over at 3B. General civil damage bench trial. Okay.
That's a stroke of stress. All right. Mr. Heston, I'm ready to hear your side of the case.
Okay, Your Honor, would you like me to dispense with opening remarks?
That's
your
interesting.
brief pretty much sets out your position.
Yep.
I think Mr. Hughes understands where you're coming from. So yeah, let's get right to it.
The only modification of it is the damage. Just to be clear, it's $16,200 for the physical damage to the apartment.
Hey, Joe.
And $3,300 for rent, not the trouble damage aspect.
Right.
Oh God.
And you're not asking for trouble damages?
I'm not.
But that $16,000 figure is different than the original figure pled in the complaint.
That is correct.
Okay, that's a good amount of damage.
A copy of the invoice that was paid to repair the damages so it will be admitted or presented as an exhibit, and that's $16,200.
Charles. 16,200.
No treble damages as to rent, just the allegation of what rent is.
That is correct.
All right. Why don't I'll let you call your witness. I'd like to start with the rent component first.
I'd like to start with him moving the camera over so we can see what's happening in the courtroom.
I'd like to call Mark Santori to the stand.
Hello, Chris.
Good afternoon, sir. I can actually see you.
Oh.
You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in
Well, at least we get to see this guy.
True to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Hey, Chuck.
All right, have a seat if you would, and state your name and spell your first and last name.
My name is Mark Santori, MarkSantori.
All right, Mr. Hessen.
Thank you. Mr. Santori, are you familiar with Green Valley Apartments, Inc.?
I am.
How are you familiar with that organization?
My father owns it. I helped run it and take care of it pretty much all my life.
And what does Green Valley Apartments do?
It has 12 units, rental. They have 1-year contracts.
Hey, Laura.
And just maintaining and taking care of it.
You're also affiliated with a Green Valley Golf Course, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is Green Valley Apartments and Green Valley Golf Course the same entity?
No, separate.
I know. Picked the wrong night to go out to eat.
That Green Valley Apartments is owned
I
by
know.
your father?
Yes.
What's his name?
Reno Santori.
and he owns that apartment building by himself,
Yes,
and the golf course.
Gone
Who owns
this
the golf
week,
course?
Edwin.
I'm the lead shareholder. I bought my father's out 6 years ago, or I should say 7 years ago. And I still have a brother and a sister that own stock, but I'm the primary stockholder.
But to be
Nice.
clear, you don't have any interest in the apartments
No.
as a shareholder, and your father doesn't have an interest in the golf course.
Yes,
Two separate entities,
Yes.
correct?
two separate corporations.
All right, so was there a time that Green Valley Apartments rented to Ronald Hughes and Lisa Jacobs?
Yes,
When did that?
I missed two of them,
that
my
was
man.
over 10 years ago.
I heard.
What were the circumstances surrounding that situation?
My father took care and ran them at the time. Mr. Hughes and his.
My
friend Lisa,
53
Came in.
alerts while we
had
were trying to eat dinner.
discussions, Because I told him I didn't really care to want to help manage them anymore. I just wanted to focus.
But
on
after
the
it was
golf
going
course.
for an hour.
So he asked me that he thought it would be fine if Mr. Hughes and his girlfriend, help manage them. I said, that's
Good
what you want to do. They're yours. You do what you want. I said, that's what you want to do. That's fine, which he did.
And what kind of compensation did Mr. Hughes and Ms. Jacobs get for managing the apartment building?
No,
Nice.
And was there a time, what was the free rent tied to managing the apartments?
Yes,
What would happen in the event that they stopped managing the apartments?
then they would have to pay rent.
Was there a time recently that they stopped managing the apartments?
Yes.
When did that happen?
The date was back in, I
Pardon me?
think it was back in September, October.
Oh, wow. So free rent for managing the apartments.
Management, because I was overseeing it. And the reasons why I ended their management is because we lost the liability insurance to the place because they were not properly managing.
Hey, Power Stroke. Hey, Dave.
The insurance company stated that there were grills still on the decks when it was audited 5 years prior. And so they canceled our insurance. So then I technically relieved them of their duties.
When you relieved them of their duties, did you tell them that they would have to begin paying rent?
Yes,
What did you tell them they had to pay per month in
I
rent?
told them they had to pay $550 a month.
The, as I understand it, apartment 12 is is the top floor of the
Yes.
apartment building?
The other's 4.
4 units on the top floor?
Yes,
My God, that was loud. Thank you, Dave.
So the
Appreciate you.
$550 rent that you told them they would have to pay is consistent with what the other 3 tenants would have to pay.
yes.
After the date of termination of them being managers?
Hey,
did they pay rent?
Gucci.
No, they refused.
And they were in the apartment for 6 months?
Yes,
And as I understand it, you're asking the court for
Correct.
6 months times 550,
yes,
a total of $3,300 for that.
yes.
So even after they ask when I stop managing, they didn't pay rent. I love it.
Did the defendants voluntarily vacate the apartment?
No,
Did you have to bring,
I didn't take them to court. Yes,
did you have to get an order of eviction to get
You got
them?
to fight Alex for
The,
third seat, Charles.
After you gained possession of apartment 12, what kind of condition was the apartment?
pretty much destroyed. There was adhesive, carpet adhesive that was thrown all over the ceilings and walls. All flooring was removed. All trim boards were broken. Every door was taken off,
Wow.
and also closet doors were
Right.
removed.
Do we have pictures, video
Broken
evidence?
windows and slather was destroyed as well.
What was the condition of the bathroom?
Bathroom was unfixable. So we had to have it totally gutted out and replaced. Showers, tubs, everything.
Did you hire Hickman Home Improvement to make repairs to the apartment?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to start
I-
by
Would they say 13, 16, 13,000, 16,000
this
damage?
proposed exhibit number 1.
Damn it. Joe needs more drugs. I'll look. I after we got a case, Carol, I'll help you out. That was a joke, by the way. Big joke.
Yeah, I did put a sticker on plaintiff's exhibit number 1.
I hope so. Oh yeah. We're probably not going to be able to see them, unfortunately, because they usually don't share
Mr.
these things.
Santori, I have presented you with plaintiff's proposed exhibit number 1, which is a 4-page document.
I can.
Have you seen these pictures before?
Yes,
Are these fair and accurate representations of what the apartment looked like at the time you regained possession from Mr. Hughes and Ms. Jacobs?
yes, it is.
What is the first picture on this proposed exhibit?
That is the bathroom sink.
So
There
if
you
I
go,
understand
Dwayne.
it, this was the condition of the sink when they were out of the apartment.
Well, yeah, the day after they left.
Hi, Shells.
Number 2, what is what is page number 2?
I wish.
The toilet. That's what I see.
Creed Co. really needs her CMP urinal cage.
There seems to be stains on the shower. Were there those stains there when they gained possession?
No,
Well, thank you,
And
Bishop.
then finally, the last picture, is this the refrigerator?
yes, it is.
This is the condition of the refrigerator when you gain possession.
Yes.
I move for the admission of exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
Mr. Hughes, do you have any questions about these photos? Exhibit, he shook his head no. Exhibit 1 may be received. with-
Oh, we can almost see the picture. If he would just like hold the paper just to. All right, Paul. Amazed that
Santoria,
Mike
now
even has any
presented with
service.
Proposed plaintiff's exhibit number 2,
Terrible up that way.
which is 6 pages long. Do you recognize these pictures?
You guys remember what they said? 13,000 or
Is this a
16,000? I can't
representation
remember
of
already.
What the apartment looks like when you gain possession after Mr. Hughes and Ms. Jacobs vacated.
Yes,
Oh, Mama Go.
The, what is the first page of this proposed exhibit?
this is the wall inside the living room,
He unfortunately passed away Monday, Gucci.
and it is adhesive, carpet adhesive that was thrown onto that wall and also on
Rip.
the ceiling.
Was that adhesive on the walls when they gained possession?
No.
But cooler, Mikey? And by the way, Gucci, I was kidding. That's Mikey there on vacate. That's vacation, Mikey.
3 of this proposed exhibit is also adhesive on the walls?
Yes, it is.
What did you have to do in order to get this apartment ready to be re-rented?
I had to burn
I
it down.
have, specialists come in and get removers to remove it and then repaint it all.
Did they have to sand it?
Yes,
Did they have to chisel any of it off the wall in order to get it off?
I believe so.
Did they use an axe?
What is the 4th page of proposed exhibit number 2?
That is all the trim boards that were around the bottom parts of the walls for the carpet.
I gotta say, I think these people are effed, huh?
So when you walked in to gain possession, you found a big pile of wood with all the molding in the middle of the floor. Like
Yes, all broken.
And there was molding in the apartment when they gained possession.
Yes,
They took a boat to Mexico.
What is the next page, page 5 of this proposed exhibit?
That is the living room, showing that there is no longer any type of flooring whatsoever into that room.
What was previously on this floor?
Originally, it was carpet.
And finally, what is the last page of this proposed exhibit?
That was something Mr. Hughes put up there on the ceiling in one of the bedrooms, apparently to hang stuff on.
Okay. Was there damage to the ceiling as a result of this plywood being on the ceiling?
Oh, yes, once we removed it, there was a hole in the wall, in the ceiling.
Hole in the
I move
ceiling.
For the admission of plaintiff's exhibit number 2.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Hughes, you have any questions about these photos? Don't see any shaking head. It says no. Exhibit 2 may be. admitted.
Hello, Schuster.
So as a result of the damages that are shown in exhibits 1 and 2, did you hire the services of Hickman Home Improvement?
Yes,
I mean, save your lawyer fees, right? If they've got this much evidence, you know that you did it. There's no way to explain away that much damage, right? It happened just after you are asked to pay rent. It's crazy.
Is Exhibit 3 the proposal from Hickman Home Improvement to repair the apartment 12?
Yes, it is.
Well, at the bottom right, it says total $16,200. Did you pay that amount to Hickman Home Improvement for the work they did on the apartment?
Yes, I did.
And does this accurately describe the work that was performed by Hickman to restore the apartment?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court today for damages of $16,200 relating to the damage?
It
to
was
the apartment?
$16K. Jesus Christ. How do you get a hole in the roof? Like,
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Do you have any questions about that quote from Hickman?
Constable?
No. All right. Exhibit number 3 is also admitted. All right. Mr. Santori is here. If you wish to ask him any questions, he is under oath. Is there anything you would like to ask him?
Oh, wow.
All right, Mr. Santori, you can step down.
Why did they go from Zoom to live? Do you know why they?
I have 2 other brief witnesses. I need to grab one other one.
Oh my God, 2 more witnesses. Do we really need? The case is done. The dude's guilty. AF, as they say. I'm just really gonna drive it home with 2 more witnesses. Just crazy. Well, we got a second. We got a case we do Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock East. So not this week. Mikey's on vacay, so a little bit different thing.
Welcome to live court.
But we're doing the
Judge Middleton.
doing the chase. It's 405 East today.
Would you please raise your right hand? You swear affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
It was for a
All
sex.
right, have a seat if you would, and state your name for the record.
Kevin Guswell,
Could you spell your last name?
Gushwa.
All right, Mr. Bush, was your oath? Mr. Heston has some questions for you.
Hi, Constable PJ. Afternoon.
You are the manager of Green Valley Apartments right now?
Yes, sir.
Do I understand correctly that you became the manager after Ronald Hughes and Lisa Jacobs were let go as managers?
Yes, sir.
Imagine if he just found out now that they had free rent, but he doesn't.
At the time that they vacated?
Yes.
Did you go into the apartment after they vacated to see the condition of the apartment?
Yes, I did.
What did you see?
Oh, nice.
The apartment was trashed, wood trim from the doors and windows, it was all yanked off and busted. There was glue or some spit or something on the walls throughout the whole apartment.
Wait, what?
No flooring, the flooring was all ripped up and removed.
Some spit?
The bathroom
I-
was.
Some potential spit on the walls?
Shower, everything, and it had to be replaced.
Whew.
How long have you been a manager at Green Valley Apartments?
A year and a half now.
How many?
Year and a half, about, yeah.
How many times has an apartment been vacated since you've been manager?
2 apartments.
Was this apartment worse than the other apartments that you saw?
It was the worst I would imagine I'll ever see. Yeah.
Were there any damages to doors in the apartment?
I believe that, yes, the front door was, it had screwing it shut, keeping, from getting into it when he left. It was
That's what I-
screws in it from both sides going up and down it like it'd been open before.
That's what I was thinking.
Did you see Mr. Hughes move some of the items out of the apartment?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever see him carry any glue up into the apartment?
The glue must have been really
Can't say
bad.
that I ever seen him carry glue. No.
The glue spit.
Not a lot. I've seen him moving furniture out in and out.
The spit looked like glue.
Throwing wood from the trim and stuff down to the ground.
You saw him throw wood
From
from
wood
the trim.
trim, from, door trim and stuff, yeah.
Did he take it out of the building? Or did
It
he,
went through to the outside of the ground from this balcony,
so he threw it out the window?
yes,
No, off the balcony. Love it.
So you
He
saw
was
him
way up, I
physically
guess,
do
up
these
top
things?
floor too.
yes.
And you saw him physically move furniture and
Yes.
items from the apartment? That is all I have, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions for Mr. Gushwa?
Yeah, how does that
Yes.
work legally?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Mr. Gushwa, you're still under oath. Mr. Hughes has some questions he'd like to ask you. Why don't you use
I didn't
the
think about
podium,
that.
Mr. Hughes, so we can make. Is the hard for
Kinda
you to
interesting.
stand?
I got it.
All right, well, if
Thank
you'd
you.
rather be seated, I'll. allow
Right,
you to
Paul?
do that.
I'll be just fine.
All right.
God's on my side.
All right.
Uh,
Okay, what is
Go
this
ahead.
court?
Anything you want to ask him?
isn't it true that Mark's using you to get back at me because Mark's getting ready to have to pay for the spinal surgery
Ooh,
that I had to get because he worked me so hard, made me push his antique mower,
Well, wait a
greens
minute. All
mower
right, you can
up
ask-
onto a flat.
this isn't how it works.
In which my back was destroyed.
You can't do
And I
this.
ended up having to have surgery.
All right, well, I'll
Nice
give you a
back.
chance.
Got up.
Stop.
Okay. well,
Stop. You can ask a question. I'm not asking you to make a speech at this point. You'll be placed under
I'm,
oath.
I'm trying to get
All
the
right. So your
information.
question is, do you believe that Mr. Santori is using Mr. Gushwa to get back at you?
Because he's getting ready to have to pay for that spinal surgery. This coming Tuesday up in the state court building.
All right, can you answer that question?
To get back at you.
In which there's already a default judgment against Lisa. The truth is that we managed that apartment building for a decade.
Again,
They
you
never
got.
loast one penny of rent or
Well,
late fees.
again, I'll give you a chance to testify. This. is
He's
your
not even-
opportunity to ask questions.
That's why you don't represent yourself when you're a kook. Cuckoo.
I'm done.
You can
He's already
sit
sitting
down.
down. All right, that was amazing. My God, all he did is showed his back to him like 3 times and started
Maybe excuse.
going off. Yeah, this guy should definitely be representing himself. Although, if you never had a lease, I don't know. I hope this guy
Good
does
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
get
I'm
a
gonna ask you to
chance.
Face me and raise your right
say
hand.
his
You will
piece.
have
I
Judge
think this is a
Middleton
pretty good one. You guys are
swear
right.
under oath. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
I listen when you're used to doing this with somebody else. Yes, it is weird, different, but it's all right.
What's your name?
Legal name is William Anthony Hickman.
Making it work.
You go by Bud.
I go by Bud.
Hey, Bud the Hickman.
Hickman.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Heston.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Hickman.
He was just
What do you do for a living?
Pardon?
What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm a licensed contractor.
Do you do residential and commercial?
Yes.
apparently fairly deaf as well.
Did you have an opportunity to do some work for Green Valley Apartments back in 2021 on unit number 12?
Yes.
Come in while I do my
What did you
BRB
do
break.
at unit number 12?
We kind of remodeled it, put it in a new bathroom.
Kinda.
Did a little bit of work on trimming, changed the sliding door.
Chiseled the
some other
glue off the wall.
Changed the
Spit,
front
glue
door, I guess
spit.
we Call it, and got it all ready to paint, stuff like that.
What was the reason, if you're aware that there was a remodel, so to speak, to the apartment?
It was damaged to that we couldn't just come in and put a paint on it. We had to redo the whole bathroom, and the fixtures were not usable. Toilet was not usable, and the shower was definitely not usable.
Well, they questioned him on BRB.
The walls
were all, we couldn't paint the walls. Walls had, it was glue, carpet glue. We figured it out that was all, I guess you're thrown against the wall. And there was a lot of holes in the walls. We had to patch, and front door had a hole in it. We had to add a lot of trim. Trim was most of the baseboard was missing. Kitchen wasn't too bad. I don't think we changed anything in the kitchen. The slider had a broke part of the glass. Was in that. Not sure how that was. That's basically the drift of it.
Let's talk about the bathroom for a moment. You indicated that you had to replace the toilet. Why did you have to replace the toilet?
Toilet wasn't cleanable. Let's put it that way.
Why is that?
It was, I guess, covered with feces that was not able to be cleaned out. Put it that way.
Would you take a look at exhibit number 3, which, yes. Is this the proposal that you gave to Green Valley Apartments for the work you were going to perform?
Yes. Yes.
Did you charge $16,200?
Yes.
And you were paid for that amount?
Yes.
Okay. That is all I have at this time. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's not- So the proposed, this is an exhibit, it's been admitted. So this includes the work you did on all the matters that you just described. So when did you complete this job?
It took us a while. I would say it probably took us within, I don't know the exact date, but when we started it, it was probably 2 months. We didn't do it every day. We kind of tried to fit it in.
Well, this is dated May 5th of 21. So you worked on this project through last summer?
Yeah, we worked on it. This is the proposal. Yeah, so it was basically last summer, yes.
Well, you're a pretty good estimator if your estimate came out at what you were paid. Because often when you get into a project like this, you find things that weren't readily apparent. But this quote you gave them May 5th is what you actually were paid for the work you did.
Yes, this was actually paid. Yep. Yes.
All right. Mr. Hughes, Ronald Hughes, is the defendant in this case, and he may have some questions for you.
Sure.
Mr. Hughes, is there anything you wish to ask Mr. Hickman?
Well, I would like it to show on the record that State Police Trooper Lackey was called to investigate this immediately after it was found.
Your Honor, this is hearsay and
No,
sounds like a
no,
state-
that's State Police Trooper.
All right, let's see
You
where it
can't
goes.
cut him out. He's a
Well-
State Police Trooper.
All right, well, that doesn't mean it jumps the rules of evidence.
Well, he was called to investigate.
All right.
And?
Now, you have a question for Mr. Hickman.
Aren't you also being used against me in retaliation for Mark having to pay for my spinal surgery? That's what this is all about, right here. God strike me down if I'm lying. I was Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, honorable discharge out of the military. I got a heart of gold and ain't nobody gonna prove otherwise.
All right, so do you believe that you're being used by Mr. Santori to get back at Mr. Hughes?
No, all I was asked to do was come here to tell what I did in the apartment and why.
And this is your,
This is this is me.
all right, you can step down.
Yeah, I heard that too, right, Dave? They said something about feces, or is he talking about the facade? Or I'm not sure.
Officer Lackey and the state dropped and dismissed the case.
It's still going.
We'll get to that here in a minute.
Well, it's already gone way past it.
Well, wait, you haven't had your chance to tell your side of the story yet.
I
So
can't
I'm gonna
wait.
Let him finish and then I'll hear everything you have to tell me.
I have no other witnesses, Your
All
Honor.
right, so the
So we're
plaintiff
gonna-
rests.
Yes.
Pro tip from Flushing.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Mr. Hughes, I had said earlier, and I confirm that you have strong feelings about this. You filed a counter complaint.
Did your desk look like Herman Marbles, okay?
I'm gonna put you under oath if you wish to, and have you tell me what you want me to know, all right? You please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm.
This is gonna be
testimony
good.
you're about to give in this
I have a feeling it's
matter
gonna be really
true
good.
To the best of your knowledge and belief.
Scout's honor.
All right,
I
so
just-
they've established that they paid someone $16,200.
I was out to
come in,
dinner. God rides a Harley.
Repair this apartment. They also contend that you were there from November to April, I think it is, we'll count those months, 6 months
Rosy cheeks.
without working there, without paying any rent. So what do you want to tell me?
That after my injury occurred, that's when Mark decided to fire me from the golf course and from the apartment building. Now, like I said, State Police Trooper Lackey was called to investigate, and he did. He's a
Call to
good officer.
investigate what?
The apartment, the situation, the fact that we had destroyed the apartment. And I told him that was not adhesive on the walls, that was spit, just like Kevin said. It was spit. But anyways, I told him about the agreement between me and Reno Santori, Mark's father, the owner of the apartment complex. And we had done an outstanding job the whole time we'd been there. It was once my injury occurred, Mark cut the deal, fired me,
All right,
fired
let's start your
Lisa,
counterclaim. What was
and then he tried getting us wrapped up into a criminal case
what was
with the
date?
state.
What was the date of your injury?
Oh,
That was more like October, end of October-ish, because we had already gone through the whole season of work and all this
So
and
this would be
that.
October of 2020.
And this was all a barter agreement. There was no money made at all.
2020.
Yes, end of October-ish,
All right.
but
So
it might have even been into November because we kind of had the late fall and stuff.
and you
No
got
kidding.
injured working at the golf course is your contention.
Yes, I worked at the golf course, also at the apartment building, doing maintenance and assisting Lisa with the collection of rent. I explained to Officer Lackey and showed him the pictures of the hardwood flooring that was in the apartment 12. It was mine. I had bought and put in there. And I'd taken the receipt to the house and showed Reno Santori and Betty Santori and Mark Santori at their kitchen table.
yeah. What about the
in which
feces?
I knew I wasn't gonna get reimbursed for it,
Double F.
but I wanted them to know that I was going above and beyond to make their place nice. Anyways, after the deal was cut,
Sounds.
I figured I'm taking my flooring with me. Now, flooring cannot be done without having to do the trim. So I had to buy all the trim that went around the base and the doors.
So he ripped it out, and took it with him.
Now, at the end, when I was tearing up my flooring and getting out of there, I explained to Officer Lackey that they hollered at me to just go ahead and go. They would
Oh,
clean it
Snap
up.
is right.
Anyways,
Mavis.
there was broken trim and stuff. I gathered up all my flooring and taken it with me. But I sent Officer Lackey pictures showing the hardwood flooring where Mark had told me to tear it out 5 years prior. So that hardwood flooring was bought and paid for 5 years prior before we ended up moving out. Now, that was my flooring. I paid for it out of my money. I'm on disability. I don't have a lot of money. That's why I came to the barter agreement about the rental and to work at the golf course and be able to goof around and golf every once in a while.
Oh, that's ballsy.
Mark totally used it against me to break my back, literally. I'd asked him prior, 10 years prior, to get an $80 winch and hook onto the flat trailer to pull the mowers on and off. He said, no, push it. Just push it. Okay.
Push it real good.
Probably, yeah, I'd say 750, 800 pounds. and going up a ramp onto a flat trailer just by manual power. Nobody would expect, no real boss would expect that out of anyone. That's ridiculous. But he kept insisting on it rather than spending $80 to get a little winch to go meh, and put it all on there, all easy peasy. Now,
Here we go again.
5-year-old kid can kick my butt because my spine is destroyed from pushing his mower up onto his flat trailer that I had asked 10 years prior
That Mohawk,
for
though.
him to spend $80 to buy a winch. So
Right.
this didn't happen to my spine.
You don't
Well,
need
once
to,
it happened to my spine, I was fired from my job. He tried getting me tied up criminally with the state police. They came in to investigate. I proved beyond any unreasonable doubt to Officer Lackey
You see your
that
back again.
Mark was a habitual liar, pathological narcissist, and he was out to destroy me in any way he had to. And I told him that I could simply clean up that apartment in 1 week's time. I could have took a hot rag to it, cleaning the walls, which I've done multiple times to a dozen of their apartments. I chased all the riffraff out of there. and got all their
Diabetes.
apartments cleaned up.
Diabetes.
Anyway,
Chased all the riffraff
I
and the hardwood flooring out.
Call of Duty because it was only $6,000 in rent that I was saving and $1,500 on the golf course. So it was like $7,500 that I was saving each year. He worked me beyond full time. and
There it is.
insisted on this.
stop doing that. I've seen it once, there's plenty.
Now, because
I
he has
love
to
it.
pay for the surgery, he's got you guys judging against me and Lisa, which is the best woman I've ever met on the planet. She's got a heart of gold too.
Amazing in
We
bed.
would do anything to help any one of you. You could call us at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd be right there to help you. Not even think about it.
Oh,
Now, you guys go ahead and finish doing what you're gonna do to us so we can just get on down the road.
yeah, that's the way
what I'm
to be.
ready for.
That's
I got
great.
a lot of healing I gotta do. I don't want any bad for anybody.
Gee, I'm glad.
Nobody wants it. Don't want any bad for me. I would never do anything to hurt or bother or rip anyone off. Last fight, I was in 4th grade, the last fight I'd been into. Okay?
And if you rule against me, I'm gonna spit all over your courtroom,
Every
Judge.
Situation I've had to. And I'm gonna stand up against this too. This is not right.
And I'm taking this chair with me.
Because he's having to pay for this come next Tuesday. That's why we're in here doing this right now. So help me God. I rest my case.
Great job,
No
bro.
disrespect.
You're fine. Mr. Heston, is there anything else? He's rested.
I just have, I think 2 questions. You indicated that it wasn't glue on the walls, it was spit.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
I
spit
told Officer Lackey that it was spit on the walls and that I would give him a sample willingly.
A DNA sample.
I was gonna drive him legal and give him a sample of my saliva so it could be tested. And he knew I wasn't lying. So it was not adhesive. And, Mark had his, okay, there
Sir,
was,
sir,
Mr. Heston, I don't know that you need to go down this path.
okay.
yeah, you guys already got me over the barrel
All right,
Yeah, there's some
all
truth.
right, the second,
The second
with a
question,
bad back.
why would you spit all over the walls and ceiling of this?
I didn't know how to handle the situation. I told Officer Lackey the same thing. I was embarrassed about it, but I wasn't proud of it. I told him I didn't know what to do. I had 3
I know
people.
what to do, so I
Mark
spit
had
on the
his-
wall.
His cronies, Kevin, his cousin, which was
All
the
right,
original
I'm
manager.
sorry I asked,
They were
but-
wires, and they shoved wires in my
at
entrance, my
Middleton's
key
face.
entrance to the door to the apartment. That's why.
He says, "I'm
there was
sorry I
screws
even
on it. I
asked."
had to break into my own apartment because they jammed the door.
All right. We should-
I'm not a destructive individual, and it's a good thing.
All right, all right, thank you.
and I have one last question.
I gotta,
Thank you, love.
yeah,
So if I understand correctly, in March and April of 2020.
Yeah, I wanted to see him showing his back.
Wood floor and the molding, and moved all the furniture out.
It was my flooring, and I told the state police trooper I would take it to him and show him.
That's what he said.
It's very, very narrow.
He already testified that he did it.
So you removed that in March and April of 2021, correct?
Whenever I was forced to move out during the COVID pandemic, which was supposed to be illegal, yeah.
Right.
Diabetes.
And then you claim in September and October of 20, about 6 months earlier, that you hurt your back, correct?
Yeah, my back got hurt pushing his mower up onto the flat
So
trailer.
your back was hurt in 2020, but you were able to remove the floor in 2021.
I had to.
Okay, that's a great question. You could do all that.
Diabetes.
The case is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Mr. Hughes, you argued this
Jesus
morning
Christ.
that there was no lease or contract.
Thank you, Dave, for the
No
two.
written contract.
All right, you didn't argue it here, but I'll accept your argument from this morning. There was no lease and no written contract. Normally, in a tenancy, and Mr. Santori testified, they rent these on a 1-year lease. And that's very common. They'll rent for a year, and then often after the end of the year, it'll just become a month-to-month tenancy.
Diabetes.
Yours was different. You and Ms. Jacobs were tenants there by virtue of the fact that it was part of hers and your compensation for working there. And so there was no specific lease, but your rent for 10 years was zero. And if it's worth $550,000, 10 or 11 years of this is worth $50,000 or $60,000 of non-taxable income. But at this point, no matter what the reason was, your employment was terminated. We have November, December, January, February, March, and April, which is 6 months. Through Mr. Thornton, in the landlord-tenant case, they terminated your tenancy. There was no lease, so you didn't have the protection of the lease.
They had the cleaning deposit also,
Okay, well,
and they took that, so all the cleaning was taken care of, and I explained that to.
all right, well, we're done with testimony. This is my ruling. So they went through the legal process to terminate your tenancy. You weren't happy about it then, and you're not happy about it now. They had to actually get a writ of eviction. And that took a while.
And more court costs
Explained to them
and
as soon as we found a place
fees.
to move,
I
we were
understand.
moving out.
And that is very common, Mr. Hughes. People tell me almost every week, every day, I'd move if I had somewhere to move to.
And we managed to do so.
All right, well, at any
So-
rate,
We're not bad people.
I entered a judgment after a hearing on April 22nd,
Good luck, Constable.
on April 12th, that you moved by April 22nd.
Not for him.
Not
for him.
You didn't move, and on the very,
We moved before
Yeah,
you even
yes.
ordered this.
well, they got the writ of eviction on April 23rd. Judge Patterson signed it. I think.
Anybody want to put some money on if we see his back again one more time?
Vacation at that time. Anyway, ultimately you moved.
I was out a day before you told me to be out, sir.
Okay, so they didn't.
So I
actually-
respected your order.
And I appreciate it. Shut up! All right, but the fact of the matter remains, you were there for 6 months, without paying any rent. without
It sounded
working
that cleaning deposit.
there.
Anyway,
The testimony
Also-
was that $550 per month would be consistent with what the other units on that floor were charged. Actually, $550 a month is pretty reasonable.
who
rent.
you gave free
You know,
rent
you
to
were,
for
and you
10
had a hard time
years.
Finding something to rent for $550 a month. So regarding the rental component of the plaintiff's complaint, I find that a reasonable rent for that apartment would be $550 a month. And I find that you were there for 6 months, so that's $3,300 for rent. They're no longer asking for treble damages. I'm not sure the statute they cited fit these facts, but I don't have to make that decision because they're not asking for that.
I'm surprised they
However,
didn't
I
ask for
did find
every
that
single
reasonable.
thing legally that they could.
Jacob's default.
Probably because they know they're not going to get any of this money.
All right, the next component
Ever.
is a damage component. The bathroom is deplorable. I'm not sure how you were able to live there like that,
Just went off the balcony.
but it was. And for reasons I don't understand, you either spit all over everything.
That was done after the fact, Your Honor, and
What?
State Police Trooper.
Doesn't matter when.
That I was not lying to
Well, I don't care. about
you. There's a
it.
lot of stuff done after we left.
Trooper Lackey was there on a criminal investigation,
Exactly.
but you didn't get charged with a crime.
Nope.
You're not charged with a crime here. You're Mr. Lackey.
Neither
said,
does he,
"This is
Shelley. He
civil.
says, I
Take it to
didn't know what to
Judge
do.
Milton and let him decide.
Cleaning deposit with no contract, it should be a,
All right, so you're not.
Okay, and that's why he said about
you're
citing
charged
that.
with a
Okay.
crime, But beats the hell out of me why you would have done this to the inside of that apartment.
I didn't.
Also,
I didn't.
you told me, all right, the other issue.
He said he did.
did a
The
whole
rest
bunch
of it.
What is it?
You, for reasons known to you, you tore their carpeting out
You-
and put in a hardwood floor. And at that point, that flooring becomes a fixture in the apartment. And you were so angry about this when you got evicted. Years previously, you'd thrown out their carpeting. You took out the flooring plank by plank.
Which was
They-
mine, and
all right.
Officer Lackey didn't press any charges against me,
What-
so nothing should be charged against me now.
All right, let me,
The state dropped the charges,
all right. let
and
me
you're within the
repeat.
state.
Stop.
I'm sorry, no disrespect,
All right,
man.
well,
I'm trying to defend myself.
all right, you've already had your opportunity to do that.
Shut
You're not
up!
charged with a crime. They're suing you for money damages. If I was still prosecutor, I would have considered charging criminal malicious destruction of property.
Yeah, I wish Trooper Lackey came
Some
in.
of this spit all over the inside of the wall.
Seems to be a big part
You're
of this.
not charged with a crime. You're being sued civilly. You tore their carpeting out, put your flooring in, which then became a fixture, which has been there apparently for several years. Because you were so angry, you tore it out. It left them with a bunch of busted trim, no carpet, no floor.
Well, it's thank you for the $2.
Contractor, Mr. Hickman, who is licensed.
Do not touch the tram.
This with no license. He gives a quote for the cost to repair,
Just spit.
and lo and behold,
It looks like glue.
stands by his quote. And the plaintiff pays $116,200.
$116,200.
Now, let's talk about something else here.
Huh?
You're not charged with a crime. In a criminal case, they have to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. This is a civil case. They're suing for money damages. And you're not going to go to jail. There's no loss of freedom. And the burden of proof is less.
Said he ripped it up to put in his own hardwood
Beyond
flooring
preponderance,
that
meaning
he
just
took.
One side just more than the other.
Hello, Donna.
There's a spectrum of that falls from reasonable suspicion at the far left to proof beyond a reasonable doubt at the far right. Preponderance is just a little bit more than the other side. And they've certainly met that burden. In fact, they've met the beyond a reasonable doubt burden, but all I have to find is a preponderance. So there is a question though, Mr. Santori, he claims that he had a cleaning deposit when he moved into the apartment. Do you have any knowledge of that?
That would have been up to my father, if he paid that or not.
I don't know.
Mr. Hughes, how much was the cleaning deposit?
I think.
All right. I find for the plaintiff,
Looked like glue.
I'm gonna subtract 550 from 1620. What 16,000
I don't think I'd trust
minus 550?
Judge Middleton with math today. I'd actually rather Mikey math.
15,650
He was asking
plus
about that.
3,300 in rent.
It took my cleaning to put. No shit. You took the floor. What a nut. Wish we could have examined those pictures together.
Which was $18,950. In the default, we determined costs. There may be some additional costs. In Miss Jacobs's default judgment, we determined costs were
Imagine how bad that bathroom must look in those pictures.
$296 plus $75 attorney fee.
For him to say, I don't even know how you
And
use the
additional
restroom.
$75 attorney fee for today. Is that acceptable, Mr. Hessman? So it'd be
Oof.
$296.40 and one.
If he leaves the courtroom quietly,
Sure,
I will
thank
be
you.
shocked. That's what I mean. Are they ever
$440
going to get any of this money? Ever? I mean,
plus
let's be honest.
18950.
Let's be honest.
$19,414.44.
Oh.
Now, I'm fine for the plaintiff in that amount. We have 21 days to appeal this. Now, we
19K.
learned from talking with Mr. Foster this morning that he may be representing you in a bankruptcy matter. So this may be all somewhat rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. This is a judgment that the plaintiffs can use to try to collect on this debt. I would suggest you share that information with Mr. Foster. Mr. Hessen, did you bring a judgment?
I didn't have, Your Honor. I can submit that. May I ask a question at this point?
Yes.
I assume the counter complaint is
Dismissed.
dismissed? Thank you.
That's it. There are two different entities. The golf course
Yeah,
and
yes.
the apartment are two different entities. Mr. Hughes, you have some sort of a workers' compensation claim or some other claim regarding your injury. I hope that progresses through the system, and I hope you get some relief for your back. But this is separate and apart, and I find no merit to the counterclaim. However, I did accept your legal under oath representation that you had a $550 cleaning deposit.
Cleaning deposit. Here we go again.
All right. Are you still at the address in Bronson?
Yes.
All right. I will send you a copy of this judgment. Mr. Hughes will send one to me. Mr. Hessen will send one to me. I will send it to you. You have 21 days to appeal it. I would suggest you share it with your counsel in your bankruptcy matter. But that brings a conclusion to this matter. Fine for the plaintiff in the amount of $19,414.44.
Wow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Oh, is he going to leave? He's leaving quietly. Not one snide remark on the way out.
All right, well, that was certainly much easier to do this in live. I
I'm
blocked
glad
out
you did.
6 hours. We did it in 56 minutes.
I-
So,
I figured we could get it in an hour. Just, I appreciate your accommodating this so we can get it done. Thank you.
Irving Younger, the famous law professor from Minnesota, had us questions about asking one
No, he cut it while we're having nice conversations. That was pretty lucky we caught that. What an interesting case. Glad we did that. Man, that guy was nuts. Yeah, Pamela, we're gone get. No, we're done. We're good case and we're done. I can't believe that. I didn't have to jump around at all. I did have licking up the entire time. There's two courtrooms there, number 1 and number 3. Number 1 is still live as usual, but nobody popped on. And number 3 is actually not live, but I kept an eye just in case over there, in case that whole thing wasn't any good. But man, that was good. Very interesting. I mean, we knew the outcome to begin with. I shocked 19K. Jesus Christ. Oh, again, I am shocked that he just walked out without saying anything. Without anything. I'm surprised. All right. Shells, yeah, sometimes things work out like that. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And it's fun. We haven't had much time with old Judge Middleton there. 3B is one of my favorites. I spent a lot of time watching outside of this of Judge Middleton. I've always liked him. I like the way he handles things. I like when he gets into weird little stories, like he was just getting ready to say as he cut the stream. But yeah, we had some funny moments with him. But he says, "Don't go there." No, I wish I didn't ask you. I wish I didn't ask you that question. Jesus Christ! Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. That really was. That was pretty fun. All right, guys. Yeah, and let's we'll just all think about what that spit really was that looked like glue that they had to chisel off. And then the one guy mentioned feces. Nobody circled back to that. Not one person circled back to the feces part. Crazy. All right, guys. Back at it 4:05 for We Gotta Chase. I'm not sure what we're gonna do tomorrow. We'll do Voyeur or just do some court. Probably court, to be honest. Voyeur might wait till next Tuesday. We'll think about it. I'll let you know. But either way, we'll be back at 4:05 East for a chase. Yeah, missed a good one last night, guys. I don't know if we're going to rewatch it. Not today. But yeah, we were out to dinner at 50-something. I think it was 53 alerts. Which I appreciate. Not an hour after it starts, but TK, that's right. 4:05 East. We'll be back with a chase, and that was fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Great crowd. I forget to say this, but I'll say it now. On your way out, please like this video if you haven't. It helps us out a ton. I appreciate that. Also, subscribe if you're new here. And over on the We Got a Case channel. This is all you're going to get is case stuff over there. So if this is your favorite thing that we do and you don't like any of the other stuff, there you go. And here on the main channel, please subscribe. Notifications on so you know when we go live. But yeah, that's it. Guys, appreciate you hanging out. I have no idea where the hell the ending is.
What'd you say?
I said I have no idea where the ending is.
I'd like to make a request under the People's Freedom of Choices and Voices Act that I be able to smoke and swear in your courtroom.
I can't find
Good afternoon. I'm District Judge Herman Marable from 67th District Court here in Flint.
Oh, that wasn't it.
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
Bye.